So, African blacks hate American blacks. More racist rhetoric coming right up. What's up, y'all? Welcome back to Common Sense Logic Reason. As always, I want to say thank y'all for joining me today. Greatly appreciate it. So, I have more racist rhetoric for y'all, and I believe I found another example, another type of racist rhetoric, because this ideal notion that African blacks hate American blacks is neither historical crime nor is it end result thinking. It's just victimhood reaching, because it's nonsense. It's a reach. Now, the reason why I would say that this is racist rhetoric, because I've heard racists come up with this nonsense, and then so many other blacks have spoken it to the point that it just becomes rhetorical. Now, and again, if you followed black victimhood for any length of time, you would have heard this nonsense, this notion. They believe that African blacks hate American blacks. Now, where did they get this? Where does this nonsense come from? Well, it's just victimhood and delusion. You know, if you've been a victim so long, if you've been in victimhood status so long, that you're just going to become delusional. And blacks have become that in spades. You know, these brainwashed blacks believe, or so many blacks out here believe that if any other group out there, if they're not doing backflips to try to be down with black people, you know, they don't hit the ground running like the Ultimate Warrior or something, or they're not out there trying to tear their shirt like Hulk Hogan to be down with black people, then that means that they hate black people, which is idiotic and stupid. The first question that you have to ask about this is, well, why would black Africans, want to even be down with black people? Why? Because if black people are always crying and complaining how bad America is, while they're proving us wrong. So why would they want to have black folks, American blacks around them, if all they're gonna do is show up and be victims? You know what I'm saying? And I've heard some of these racists say, you know, you should be concerned about the people that you bring around you. You know, I heard Tariq Nasheed say this. I've heard, again, many of these racists say, be concerned about the people that you bring around them, and not just the racists. Most people have said this. So why would black Africans want to bring victims around them who are crying and complaining about the opposite of what they're doing? I mean, everything that blacks cry about America, African blacks are proving them wrong. They're prospering in this country. So who wants to bring victimhood around them that's going to do nothing but drag them down? Because if they do bring blacks around, black people are going to, like I say, they're not going to go in. Most blacks are not going to go in there to be productive. They're going to go in there wanting to hype and hustle race, because that's what race hustlers do. Their livelihood is hyping race and keep black folks brainwashed about race. That's just what they do. So I don't understand why. I mean, I understand why no African will want to be around any other African black, for that matter itself. Now, as far as African blacks, you know, the second issue I have is not just African blacks. I've heard so many blacks say this about other people races. I've heard them say this about Indians. And when I say Indians, I don't mean Native Americans. I mean people from India. Okay, I've heard blacks say that Indian people don't like black folks. I've heard, hell, even Indians. Why should they like us, you know? I'm saying, I've heard that same thing about Hispanic Americans. I've heard this about Asian Americans. So like everybody hates black people. And all of these, why, again, the same question I would ask about black Africans, I would ask about all these other racial groups. Why would they want to bring blacks amongst them who going to just bring victimhood? They always ask for this solidarity of, we need this black and brown solidarity, or we need minorities. And all they're going to do, and instead of being productive, building, they're going to go in and just be a victimhood. And the reason why we know this, because if black people had a mindset of being productive, we would be doing it by now. I mean, we've been here all these 400 years, and we still crying. We still victims. And today we are more victims today than black people have ever been in this country. Again, it's just stupid. But black people do this. So I can't blame any African black for not wanting to be down with any American blacks. That'd be like if you're on a football team or any team for that matter, and you have people on there who don't want to be on a team. Well, then you don't want to be. Why would you want to be bothered with a person who's moaning and moping all the time, who's a negative influence in the locker room, and is wanted to be traded? Well, why? Who would want to play with a person with that attitude? And that's kind of like what the state that black people are in. They want to complain about nobody wants to be down with us, but then their mentality, attitude is basically making it so that people don't want to be around us, and I don't blame them. Anyway, this ideal notion that African blacks hate American blacks is ridiculous, and what I just find it funny that I would have to say that I don't know what actual population percentage of the population that African blacks make, or what percentage of black people do African blacks make up. But I can't imagine it's a large significant. I have to imagine that American blacks are at least, I would have to say, 90+% of black Americans. So you telling me that American blacks need African blacks to be down with us so that we can prosper? Victimhood at its finest. Anyway, y'all. So if you ever hear any black person would say that, black Africans hate American blacks, African blacks hate American blacks, well, now you know, and knowing it's have the battle, and it's always, always, y'all. Until next time.